We found a great doctor in my area, fantastic doctor. I cannot thank him enough for being such a good partner, I guess, in going through this process. But we spoke with him. We sat down. We talked about how the procedure goes for surgically removing gynecomastia. So now we're talking about surgically removing, the breast tissue, the formation of the breast tissue, and of course that is it makes me a little uneasy. It made me very worried about what was going to happen. Was I going to be put under anesthesia? And what my doctor told me, and I'll quote him as best I can, but he says that he feels like a lot of people get ripped off in this procedure. He says you don't need to be put down unless it's a severe case, and every case is different. But he says a lot of doctors put people out, people under anesthesia, and they don't really need to be put under anesthesia. It just adds more to the bill. So he says what they could do is just give local shots. So I think it was 5 shots he ended up injecting, but so local anesthesia into the area, and then just go from there. And he would just take out the breast tissue, and that would be the end of it. So, again, Happy really pushed me. She set the date for me. She said, let's make it happen. It was December 6th of last year, so December 6th of 2012 was when I went in for the procedure. And to give you guys an idea of what I paid for it, because again, I want everybody to understand what I went through and to know how it works, how it goes. I paid $500. That's a fantastic deal. That is a steal for anybody who kind of knows what you end up paying for these kind of procedures. That's just an incredible deal. And not only was this such a good deal, but this is a top-notch doctor. So because of prior relationships I've had with this doctor, he felt comfortable giving me such a good deal on this. And not only did that $500 cover the cost of the procedure, but everything that happens afterwards, all your checkups, everything was taken care of. Once you pay that fee, then that's it. That's the end of it. And I like that. I like that a lot. It's just kind of like a one-time fee. You don't have to pay for anything else. Makes me feel comfortable. So $500 for this procedure. They prescribed me a pill that we picked up, and it was going to calm the nerves. So take it about an hour before you go in, and you will relax. I must have had a little bit of a miscommunication, because the pill, I thought I was going to go in, take the pill, relax, and have the procedure. So I go in, and I asked the doctor, I said, hey, should I take this pill? And they said, well, you should have taken it about an hour ago. We're about to start the procedure already. So add that onto the list of things that already had me nervous, and I was pretty scared, pretty freaked out. I mean, it's uncomfortable to have, or to think about having a guy slicing your nipple open to take out tissue. I mean, that's got to be on the top of the list of things that you would put in like a horrible nightmare movie. So I took the pill right away and just crossed my fingers, hope for the best. And laid down. Happy was in there with me, and it was the doctor and a nurse. And they gave me the shots, and I did not know it, but I was getting both of my nipples done. So like I said before, it was my left nipple that had development, not my right. He said, well, just do both. I had no idea until the day of. So I went in there expecting to get one nipple sliced open. I ended up getting 2. Wasn't expecting it, but but hey, it was a great deal, and he's a great doctor, so I trusted him. So he went in and did 5 shots in each nipple. So you're getting shots deep into your nipple. That hurts. I'll tell you that right now. That hurts. So 5 shots, he let this sit for a while, and I felt a little more comfortable, kind of a little more relaxed. After the shots, very painful, but after the shots, you obviously don't feel much. They dim the lights, he comes back in, and I'm laying back, and they put a towel over my forehead, and covered my eyes just a little bit, which helped. It really made me a little bit more comfortable. I didn't want my head fully covered, but just over my eyes, and I just grabbed onto my fiance's hand, and he just started going to work, and you can feel the pressure, of where he cuts, and he puts the insertion right on the bottom of the nipple, so that when it heals, it looks completely natural. And he just cuts it open, and you just feel him starting to dig in there, and I can't express how uncomfortable that is. Um, I mean, you're laying there knowing that you're being violated. Um, I mean, obviously, I felt safe knowing he was a good doctor, but it's a very uncomfortable feeling. My poor fiance had to deal with me grinding my nails into her hand. I just, for comfort, I guess, when you get into a certain situation where, um, maybe you're really scared, or you're going through a lot of pain, maybe people start rocking back and forth, or for me, I just clamped onto her hand, and I just kind of had this slow pulsing motion, and I was just digging into her skin, and at one point the nurse she said, Nick, you just need to calm down and let go of your fiance's hand. And turns out she was bleeding because I was just digging into her so hard. I had no idea. But um, so yeah, so he goes in there, digs it out, goes into both nipples, um, digs out whatever he can. I can't see a thing. Happy saw everything. I feel bad for her. It's got to be traumatizing. But he went to go stitch him up. He did a great job with the stitching. He says he does 2 layers, so 1 deep layer of stitches. I think those were the ones that dissolve, and then 1 top layer of stitches. So he knows what he's doing. He did a great job. Stitched it right up, and immediately after that, he stitched it up. It's funny. He said, "Hey, do you want to see what I got?" And of course, I'm at that point slightly drugged up, and I'm like, "Oh, sure." And he grabs this big old thing of just fatty breast tissue, with his tweezers, and he holds it over, and he's like, "There it is," and real big size. You guys will see the pictures. Real big size, and it was just funny because he held it over, and a piece of it fell off onto my shoulder, and just kind of stared at it, and nurse cleaned it off, kind of creepy, but. It was just interesting to see that was taken out. It was such a big chunk that was just sitting right under my nipple. He said that when he cut open my left nipple, it was ready to burst. It started to push out, to protrude out, and that's the kind of pressure it was causing. Um, so he got it out, got everything out, stitched it up, bandaged it up. So taped bandages, and then I had an ACE wrap around. Now the recovery looks a little something like this. A lot of people say um, that the recovery is a huge deal, and there's a lot going on. Recovery was not as big as a lot of people say. You can't work out for 6 weeks, and yeah, you have to keep an ACE bandage. You don't have to, but he suggests to keep an ACE bandage wrapped around for pressure, just in case there's any blood pooling up in the area. But they also want you to massage the breast and the nipple area so that the skin heals properly and it doesn't heal to the muscle. If I'm not mistaken, that's what he said. So, and immediately after the procedure, when I went home, and later that night when I unwrapped to take a shower, because I could take a shower, I think the first night. If it was not the first night, it was the second, but it was pretty close. So, um, instant change. I mean, it's amazing. You grow up seeing this. For instance, like if you grew up and you always had this nasty mole birthmark, and right in your face, and you saw it every time you looked at yourself. And then all of a sudden one day, you know, it's gone. It's a huge difference. All of a sudden I look in the mirror and this change, and my nipples weren't swollen here, and it was instantaneous. That the day of the surgery, you know, started to get black and blue. The bruising, of course, bruising is natural, completely normal. So everything went smooth. Again, I can't stress how great of a doctor it was. He took great care of me, and for $500, it was a steal. Now, here's where the interesting part comes into play. Here's what happened next.